Here's the third member of our team, Alexandra Wendling.
Thanks, Sean. Well, tonight's game is much more than a battle between two top 25 ranked teams. As you guys mentioned before, they're both 9-5 in the conference right now, and they're competing for the 5th seed in the ACC tournament. So the winner of this game will get the head-to-head tiebreaker today. On January 25th, 2019, Al Dunlap passed away. But the legacy of his hard work lives on through the students who utilize the Dunlap Success Center.
Lexi Wendling, who has our player of the game, Naja Wolfall. Lexi?
Naja, you guys are now 8-2 in the conference. What does this win say about Florida State?
That we're very determined and hard working. We came out, put in the work, we practiced, we focused, and we came out and got what we deserved, which was the win.
What do you have to say about Nikki's poise to hit those 2 free throws at the end?
She was very confident in herself when we needed her, when we was out, or when somebody else wasn't hitting, she came in, she did what she had to do, and she stepped up for us.
And with the performance you had tonight, what do you see for the rest of the ACC tournament?
Trying to stay consistent. I can see us going a long way. As long as everybody consistent, I do my thing, everybody else put in their work, we're going to go a long way.
Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you so much.
Bye with Alexandra
Tiana,
Wendling.
you're typically known for your assists, but tonight you had 44 points. What was it about this game that enabled you to be more productive on the scoring side?
Yeah, you know, they played a lot of zone. They played a lot of man, and that really, I attacked the basket, and I just looked to push the ball more than usually in a zone. So I think that really helped us, and everyone moving and off the ball really helped as well.
Congratulations on tying that career high tonight. Now tell me about, during the timeout, Coach Q talked about you guys needing to take a charge, and in the next play, you did exactly that. How did you and your teammates adjust to the aggressive style of Florida State?
Yeah, you know, we like to pressure them in the full court, and I think that helped slow the game down for them. So yeah, I think, you know, the pressure and just playing to the end really as a team, everyone, you know, contributing, getting rebounds, boxing out, all of the physical stuff, we pushed through to the end.
And obviously this was a big win for you guys. How are you and your teammates going to take this win into the ACC tournament?
Yeah, it's a great win for us, and I think we needed that. And I think, you know, going into the ACC tournament, it'll give us a lot of confidence, and we're ready for that.
Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
He is with Lexi Wendling right now. Lexi.
Coach, it's an intense game tonight. How important has Valencia's size and aggression been?
You know, we really want to try to get the ball inside, and she's really been productive once we've gotten the ball inside.
What's the message going into the locker room?
We just have to grind. This is going to be one of those games where it's every 50-50 ball matters.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Alexandra, take it away.
Yeah, Sean, we've talked about the quality of Florida State's coaching staff with 11 and junior, but we haven't touched much on Tyler Holt, who's returned to Tallahassee after spending some time in the pros. And he said being able to coach these boys fresh off of his career really enables him to connect with the boys mentally, whether it be about the game, academics, relationships on and off the field, or just life in general. And with 14 freshmen on the team, it's helped acclimate the boys to that student-athlete lifestyle. And the chemistry shows in the dugout and on the field, Sean.
On track. Lexi?
Well, the Wolfpack is looking to get back on their offensive flow, especially after the tough loss to UNC at home. Coach Moore has emphasized the importance of controlling the boards, especially since they were out-rebounded in their last 2 games. NC State has averaged 8.3 more rebounds than their opponents in conference play, making offensive putbacks and transition buckets a key element in their offense. So with top rebounders Kiara Leslie, Dee Rogers, and Alyssa Conane coming off the bench, Florida State can expect a battle on the boards from start to finish. The Don Vella renovation is much more than a couple of torn down trees and fresh Bermuda grass. The Nicholas family ties are rooted deep into FSU soil. Much like the rock and roll at the Woodstock Music Festival, the 1969 men's basketball team had an infectious, riveting energy that Florida State students did not want to miss.
They liked our style. It was upbeat, it was aggressive, and everybody had a really good time. We rocking and rolling.
Our team, we were rugged. We were a rugged team.
It's sort of like reckless abandon. You know, throw caution to the wind. And we went out there, we just, let's go.
Headed under Coach Hugh Durham, the Seminoles were a predominantly black basketball team playing in the Deep South during a time of social turmoil. But they overcame their cultural differences and their opponents by embracing the power of teamwork.
We knew we were pretty good. And I think the big game that proved that was when we beat Jacksonville here.
The defeat of the Dolphins proved the Seminoles were a high-caliber team, as Jacksonville ended up playing in the national championship. And like most successful teams, it all began with defense.
I think that our style of play was very important because, see, we're going to press you the whole game. If you're not in shape, you can't play with us. You know, we played a 1-2-1-1.
The 1-2-1-1 full court press is known as one of the most aggressive and exhausting defensive schemes in basketball. By forcing inbound balls to the corners and trapping them, the defense is able to prevent opponents from easily breaking the zone and executing offensive plays.
It was the bedrock of our success. We had good scores, and we knew how to play on that end, but we pushed the pace.
With 4 black players and Kentucky redhead Dave Cowens, the starting lineup acquired the nickname the Busted Flush. But no one can forget the impact the relief off the bench had on this Florida State team.
You had a guy like Roland Garrett. He ended up playing in the pros. He didn't get the start.
When Elsie came in the game, he created the type of synergy that we needed.
Maybe the best outside shooter we had was Randy Cable, and he didn't get the start.
John Burke, great defender, can probably defend anybody 1 through 5.
Despite having an 11-2 record headed into conference play, their momentum and speed could not outrun the heartbreaking news yet to come.
As I remember it, before practice, Coach Durham would have us all sit in the bleachers and he would talk to us about whatever news needed to be talked about. And we're sitting in the bleachers and he comes in and that's when that news was delivered as a team, as a unit in the gymnasium.
On January 9th, 1970, Florida State would be put on a team probation for an individual act, restricting them from competing for a national title.
I just think it was like, you know, you're in a room with a bunch of balloons and you start sticking pins in them. And everybody is just basically, you know, held their heads down in disappointment.
I was really hurt. I was angry. Yeah.
Many players felt their punishment was unjust, given the isolated nature of the infraction.
So you've got the NCAA, you also have a committee on infractions, and that group often puts penalties on the schools. And so it's not unusual to have 1 or 2 violations that maybe by a coach committed or a couple of the student athletes, and the entire team gets punished for it. It's still true today.
While the whims of fate gave them reason to falter, they chose to flourish instead, because losing themselves and their morals would have been far worse than losing a game.
As a group, what was pretty cool is that we just sort of, okay, this happened, let's move on. Nothing we can do about it. We're not going to let that define us. You know, it didn't change the spirit that we had.
Nobody wanted to quit on the other person. Nobody wanted to quit on the team. If they had it, they could have transferred out or tried to leave and say they're not going to play anymore. So I think that we were just that close as a team. I think we were that mature as a team.
Their allegiance to Florida State was unwavering. And although they didn't get the chance to compete for a national title, they found relationships and reached accomplishments of even greater value, creating bonds that lasted a lifetime.
Florida State is basically home. I came down here when I was a kid. I was 17 years old and met my wife here.
I grew up as a person because I stayed at Florida State. And I went someplace else, maybe I wouldn't have grown up to be the man I became.
The story of the Busted Flush shows that life is not a matter of holding good cards, and finding success in a poor hand is free will. I'm Alexandra Wendling for Seminole Sports Magazine. The success of Florida State's intercollegiate women's basketball stands on the sacrifices made by the student athletes from past decades. 47 years have gone by, yet athletes from a variety of generations continue to revisit their Tallahassee home.
Being able to interact with the different alumni that are from, 1980 is really, really cool, to hear their stories about, how the game evolved. And it's really encouraging to know, again, that you're part of something, a legacy of something that has existed way before you were born.
Whether the game was being played in the 1980s or today, female athletes push their bodies to the limit.
I always ask myself, were we that big? The girls are a lot taller. It just seems stronger, faster. And when I get a chance to look back, I wonder if I was that fast, because I know I'm not anymore.
One Seminole used the rigorous training experiences at FSU to stay focused and motivated when her physicality was tested on her journey to becoming a firefighter.
Staying in there, hanging in there, because when I first got here, like I said, Coach Dykehouse was really tough, and then I went to the track, and the training for track was, Coach Winkler, it was something serious. So being able to hang in there and just tough things out. So when I got to the fire department and we worked 24-hour shifts and actually fighting fire, being on top of buildings, climbing, crawling, and all those things, that physicality, all of this from college here, from training and all, helped me in becoming a firefighter.
Brenda Thomas was honored during the Clemson game for her Georgia Hall of Fame induction. Support from fans, players, and coaches filled the Tucker Center.
I think one of the joys of coaching is watching people connect, and the generations of players that have been here, those that I got to coach and I didn't get to coach, coming together, sharing stories, really sharing their passion for Florida State. It was a very special weekend.
The special weekend also provided current players the opportunity to listen and learn from athletes who were at FSU before the Tucker Center even existed.
I remember wishing, in high school, man, I can't wait to get to college, and now I'm like, where am I going to go after this? So I just think, being present in the moment and being here and enjoying every second of it is definitely something that I learned to value.
This is the best experience of my life here at Florida State. There's nothing like it. This was the best time of my life, best memories I've had here, traveling and the relationships, the school. Florida State Seminoles are Seminoles for life, and we take it to heart. I'm always going to be a Seminole.
I think the overall opportunity that Florida State's been able to give me is a real sense of family and culture and what it means and feels like to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Jones, stutter step, inside the goal, what a pass, and off the glass.
Little girl from Macon, Georgia, single parent home, never thought I was going to even have the opportunity to go to college, to be a college graduate. So the first in my family, so being able to come back, having that opportunity, and to support, I'll always support. Because the support I got from this school is absolutely, you can't beat it, cannot beat it. So I don't have any choice, really, but to give that back and let these young ladies know. You come here, they'll take care, they'll look after you. You do your part, they're going to do theirs, because they did it with me.
I'm Alexandra Wendling for Seminole Sports Magazine.
A minute that will also leave their mark for years to come. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Wendling, and we'll see you next time on Seminole Sports Magazine.